Welcome back to Inspiring the Power of You. I'm Jennifer Clifford, author, intuitive coach, and of course, empath. And today we're going to talk about dreams and empaths and what dreams mean when the empath has them. First and foremost, of course, we all dream. I'm not saying that just empaths dream, and even empaths, we dream. We dream every night when we're asleep, but more times than not, we don't remember them. It's not an important message to be received, and it's just something that we're thinking about, our heads processing, and we wake up in the morning and we don't know that we were dreaming, or maybe we feel like we had a dream, but we don't remember anything about it. And obviously everybody has that. The thing with the difference between, I think, somebody and an empath having a dream with a very specific message, when they wake up and remember, they are the ones who then look into what this is about, or why have they had this dream. And maybe just another person would just go, oh, I had this mad dream last night, and doesn't look into the meaning behind it. And more times than not, an empath will dive deeper into the symbols, the meanings, and why this message has come. When we have dreams like this, more times than not, it is something from the other side. Maybe somebody that you lost is trying to connect with you in some way, and they come to you during the night in your dream. That's how you know you've connected with them. Sometimes it can be a warning dream that, like, be prepared, something's going to happen, but the dream is kind of showing you that you're going to get through it, and then that something will happen, and you will remember that that dream was a significant message to you before the incident. And it can also just be, you can be dreaming of you're having a challenge with something, and again, it's coming in, it's guiding you in that way. So in saying that when we have dreams, they are really, really important to be aware of what you've dreamt and what the message is for you. And I encourage you, when you have dreams like this, to look into them deeper and get that message. Hence, as well as doing that, the more you acknowledge the information or the message that's come through to you, you are then opening up more of that intuition in you to be guided in a better way throughout your life and things you do by listening to these messages. And this goes for everybody. It doesn't just go for empaths. Even somebody who's not an empath naturally can bring about this deeper understanding and intuition by acknowledging what they have dreamt about. So I'm going to share a dream, a very, very spiritual dream, and I'm going to share it with you to give you an example of how a message can come while you're asleep, and what your dream is. I had a dream, so my father passed away. And before he had this operation, intuitively, in my own sense, I could not see a future for him after the operation. I won't go into all the details about it, but he did get through the operation, but he suffered horrendously after it, and he passed away like 7 months later. So obviously this was a tragic moment, as anybody who's lost anybody, and especially when that soul has gone through so much pain and suffering before they passed, it hits harder, I think, for anybody, because you've watched a loved one deteriorate, and you've also watched how they suffered, and when you have that empath in you, that you feel it a lot deeper, and you also knew that you had the vision, and you had the outcome was not going to be good before it even happened. But obviously, every soul is here to make their own choice about something, and my father chose to have the operation. So I'm just going to take a sip of water, because even talking about it, I'm a little bit emotional. But anyway, so months later, I had a dream, and I'm going to talk you through the dream that I had about my dad. So I had woke up, and I had gone out into my sitting room, and my father was laid out on the floor with a blanket over him, like as if he was in bed, and he was dead. And I kind of stood in the sitting room, and I looked at him, and I was kind of thinking, how has he got here? And he stood up, he started to get up, and I was thinking, holy shit, what the hell's going on? So he's got up, and then he's looked at me, and then, like in a switch of a moment, he was sitting on my sofa, and he was younger. And he says to me, what are you looking at? And I said, I'm saying in my head, Dad, you're dead. And he's like, are you going to make me a cup of tea or what? And I'm looking at him, and now like he's healthy, and he looks well. It's like before he had the operation. And he said, oh, sure, I'll go make it myself then. So I'm still sitting there on the couch, and he's got up, and he's gone to the kitchen, and he's put on the kettle. And when I've looked at him again, he's younger. Now his hair is brown, because he was grey then, like before he passed, and he was brown. And then my doorbell rings, and my friend is at the door, and I've let her in, and she's seen him and went, holy shit. I said, I know. And she says, well, what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know. He's supposed to be dead. Like he's supposed to be here. So I thought I better go tell somebody or do something about this. And then my dad's gone, where are you going? And I said, oh, I'm just going to go to the shops, Dad. I'm going to go get a few bits. And he's gone, I'll come with you. And I'm thinking, that's not such a good idea, Dad. But it's like, you couldn't tell him he was dead. And he was saying, no, I want to come with you. So I was thinking, okay. So obviously, in this, I'm dreaming all this. And we have left the house, and then I'm walking down this street with him. And every corner we turned, he became younger. And by the time I'd got to the end of the road, we had stopped, and my car was parked there, and there was all these other ladies there with babies, probably around 8 or 9 months old, and they were all in their prams, and they asking me, can we have a lift? And I was like, no, you can't. I have to get my dad home. I have to get him home. And that stage, my dad, it's really hard to kind of visualize this, but in the sense, I knew it was my dad, and yet I was holding like an 8-9 month old baby on my hip. And I was saying, no, to these people, I need to get my dad home. Then one of the ladies said, you need to look in the boot first of the car. So I've opened the boot, and there was a message, there was a piece of paper in the boot of the car, but I didn't look at it. I took the piece of paper and I put it in my pocket. And then this lady said, you need to go that way or whatever. So I'm walking back up to the street to a house which is not familiar to me, but somewhere I knew this was taking him home. This goes on. But so stick with me, please. And so I've gone to this house, and I've walked into this house, and it's like I said, I've never been in this house before. And there was like a spiral staircase going down to the bottom floor, and all on the stairs were people of different ages, different sexes, just, yeah. And they were all kind of laughing and happy. And I'm trying to walk my way down the spiral stairs to get to the bottom. And at this stage now, my dad, I'm carrying like this. He's like 3 months old now. And I'm walking down this stairs, and I get to the bottom of the stairs, and this person is there and says, you can hand him over now. And then he was like a newborn baby. And as I handed him over to this person, all at the bottom of the room, or I've gone down the stairs, and all at the bottom of the room, my dad was in every corner of the room, all different ages, like all the bits of his life. It's kind of, it gives you goosebumps thinking about it. But and I opened the piece of paper, and it said, I'm home. And I woke up. Now, that was such an amazing dream, and a really, really deep message. And the weirdest thing about it, it's not like I remembered it the minute I woke up. I got up, and it was when I went to make the cup of tea, I remember seeing him in the kitchen. And that's when it all starts to come back in. Part of that dream for me, obviously, very big message showing us that we're all here on a journey of life in some way. But that deep way that he has come in to kind of, because it was so tragic the way he died and what he went through, was nearly letting us know, me know, to share the message with my family and with my mom, that he was okay, that he had finished his journey, and he was still here with us at the same time, supporting us. So that obviously was a great, great comfort to me, and obviously to my family. So this is why dreams are so important. So don't disregard the message in that dream. If you do have a dream, like that sort of dream, I have others I can share, but I won't be on here sharing all these mad dreams that I've had in my lifetime. But that was a very deep, you will, if you listened to what I said, the whole meaning of what happened during the dream is very, very powerful. And yeah, and that's what I'm saying, like the messages you get, don't disregard them. If you have a dream like that, do take time to think about what the message is, and know that that is your higher self coming in for a reason, and acknowledge it and don't disregard it. I wish you all a beautiful day. If any of you have had similar dreams, I would love to hear from you. Just pop it in the comments. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit subscribe, and I will see you next week.